I have purposely shortlisted this book, giving priority to fun element. I thought it will help children to minimize their consciousness on this type of stage. We all present here are aware of the importance and role of reading aloud interesting books for children. Every sensible person working for children and with children, including our teachers, will agree principally that the experience of joy in reading process will create and develop interest and desire in learning to read. Of course, the reader should know how to select, how to present, and how to seek engagement of children in this process. Probably that is why there are many challenges standing in between actualization of this thought in the classroom routine. The first one is, of course, persuading our teachers to include read aloud sessions in their classroom routine. We need to experiment and explore a variety of ways to make teachers realize the importance and impact of read aloud. Even a single powerful experience of impact of read aloud can inspire and stimulate the change in the teacher. Here I would like to share my own experience. From last 2 years, I am closely working with a small ZP school in my village for developing and using classroom library. Our teacher is very enthusiastic and one is very ready to follow what I tell him to do, even without understanding why. But there is another teacher, she is about 50, and thought that it is useless and waste of time to let the children read storybooks in the classroom and reading aloud for children. We know that she is not an exceptional case. Moreover, representing most of the teachers in the present public education system. The only thing is, because I frankly provided them options for working with me, she expressed herself frankly. After working for 6 months with another class, one day, I casually entered in her class. She was sitting in her chair in a very relaxed position. And one boy was just reading a list of synonyms and the class was repeating after him. I requested her to allow me to talk with the children. I had a book with me, The Girl Who Hated Books. After some general chatting with children regarding their likes and dislikes about books and reading, I read aloud the book for the class. The children were so excited with the content and particularly pictures in the book. Even though it was time to close the school, the children were completely engaged and enjoying the book. What happened? The teacher who was observing all this, after first 3-4 minutes, she just took out her mobile and started recording children's expression and responses in her camera. And after I finished, she asked me, "Ma'am, where can I get this type of books for my children?" Of course, without reminding her about her denial for same before 6 months, I started talking about, and now her children are demanding read alouds and she is trying to meet their demands, at least as and when possible. The point is, if teacher gets opportunity to experience the impact and utility of such read alouds, the possibility of classroom practices will definitely increase. Of course, developing skill of teachers in loud reading need to go hand in hand. Generally, our teachers know how to read aloud for children because they have a practice of reading textbooks, lessons aloud for the class, and many of the teachers are fond of actually doing it very dramatically. The challenge is developing the skill of creating and locating spaces for children to think, to predict, and ask carefully articulated questions. That is why we can seek their engagement in the text. very thoughtful planning of questions, what, how, and where to ask is needed. Giving judgmental remarks and asking too many questions also disrupts the flow of the story and even destroys the joy. As I mentioned earlier, we need to experiment and explore a variety of ways to make teachers realize importance, impact, and ways of read aloud and advocate them with the system leaders. The second challenge is quality and quantity of books available in the classroom. There is practice of providing books for children by the state institutes like MPSP and SCRT in most of the states. But there is need to think and improve quality and quantity also. The notion of government appointed selection committee need to be reviewed and advocated strongly. Of course, the government cannot and should not be the only source for this. Availability of book can be taken care of by multiple sources on districts and block and school level also. We also need to deal with some of the misconceptions regarding this case. Even teacher mentors in academic support system think that what is good book? Good book is that what teaches something. And if there is value, it is only good book. So we need to deal with this misconception. And so whatever the role we are in, to be a part of change-making process in the system, we need to understand the facts, the notion of the stakeholders, and experiment with research attitude. Then only we would be able to advocate the system leaders and move forward towards our goal of strengthening public education system. That's all. Thank you.